Just the front page of Bild. Bayern Wenger. There you go. That's all you need to know, really. Jules, we saw him speaking after the Champions League matches today, a pundit on beIN Sports. Very reserved. He wouldn't say much, did he? How likely a percentage is this to happen?
41%. That's pretty easy. More seriously, Bild in Germany going very strong on Wenger, saying that they actually already have spoken to him. I was told, and I wrote on ESPN FC this morning, that they hadn't properly spoken yet, that maybe, Wenger is in Qatar now, so physically they obviously can't meet, but maybe next week. Wenger, as you said, was very vague tonight on beIN Sport. He said that they hadn't spoken. I'm not sure we can fully trust him on that, but the fact is that he was not the first option at the beginning, but because Erik ten Hag has ruled himself out, because Ralf Rangnick has ruled himself out, because Thomas Tuchel has also ruled himself out, it looks like now Wenger is pretty much back in the leading seat, if you want, because they've also run out of options a bit. So they could obviously give the job to Hansi Flick for a bit longer and maybe for the rest of the season, and then see in the summer. Although I think that would be a very risky, option. So I think Wenger he's got a lot of things going for him for that job. He ticks a lot of the boxes that Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who is really the one deciding in this, because Uli Hoeneß will leave his position as president on November the 15th. So he's very much on Rummenigge, and I can see what Rummenigge is thinking about him.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I honestly see this as a really good fit, particularly to the end of the season. Then both parties can then sit back and take stock.
Yeah.
Here we have a guy who I don't think, and I've said this many times, I do not think he became a bad manager overnight, but he certainly got stale at Arsenal and he stayed too long. I don't think there's a doubt about that. But here's a guy that can walk in a dressing room with big names and some really good youngsters, and he carries himself with gravitas because he's been there, he's seen it, he's done it, he's coached some of the best, he's produced some of the best teams and built it himself. And he could go back in there and hold court in the dressing room, steady the ship to the end of the season. And I honestly think for him as well, this is going to be arguably the biggest offer he's going to get if he gets it.
I think the big advantage to Wenger coming into Bayern at this point, he's not going to have autonomous control as he did certainly the last half of his career at Arsenal. Just given the way the club is set up, there are others above him who will be making decisions and allow Wenger to do what I think he did best, and he's shown in his early years at Arsenal, which is coach and make good players into a good team. I think Bayern have good players. It makes a lot of sense to me.
On the plus side, if you're Bayern Munich, what you're doing is you're buying yourself some time so that you're not just reaching for whatever's left, whatever the leftover option is. You're saying, okay, Arsene Wenger takes it to the end of the season, then we'll see where we are. I think if you're looking at Bayern Munich, and you look in and parallel that to whatever Arsenal became, of course these are better players than Bayern Munich. But they have the same issues that Arsenal had. For as many talented players as they have in the attack, defensively they're all over the place. And that would be the area to address with Bayern Munich because of injuries, because of suspension, because of lack of talent, because of aging players, whatever the case may be. Bayern Munich right now defensively is all over the place. Is that the area that Arsene Wenger can solve for you? I'm not sure that that's the case.
So you'd have someone like Moreno over Wenger?
I suppose you can go in that direction, but then you're not buying time. Now, it's not just until the end of the season. Yeah. You're making a long-term decision. And so this is where Bayern Munich has to be careful. I think Arsene Wenger would be a correct decision, but I'm just saying you're not exactly addressing some of the issues that you have as a club.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.